Good evening, everybody. It's 8 o'clock. And welcome to the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD Repeater in Rockford. My name is Jim. My call is K9GCR. I'm located here in Freeport, and I'll be your host this evening. The purpose of having this net is what the name implies, to have fun. This is what this hobby of amateur radio is all about, in addition to providing emergency communications if one situation warrants. Like this past Tuesday night, a secondary purpose of this net is to provide an on-air meeting place for all amateur radio operators. Everybody is welcome to check in. You do not have to be a member of any club, organization, group, or association to participate in this net. All you need is a valid FCC license. This net meets each every Friday evening at 8 p.m. This repeater is a PL 114.8 minus offset. You need to have that programmed into your radio in order to have access to the repeater. For those of you who may be using older radios that do not have PL capability, of the PL in your radio is not working properly, you can check in the Friday Night Fun Net by using the repeater output frequency, the straight 195 simplex. If I hear you, I will acknowledge you and check you in the net. This is the first Friday Night Fun Net of March 2024. This is the Friday Night Fun Net for March 1st, 2024. This net is being live streamed around the world via the internet on YouTube. Mike, K9MED in Rochelle, is doing the honors. For those of you who wish to check in the net via the internet, check in the net with Mike, K9MED. He in turn will relay your internet check in to me via the radio. Also, if you're on the 6th, you can hear the repeater, but you can't get it into the conditions, you're too far away from it, or you don't have internet access, you can give me a call on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FNFN, 232-3636, the local Freeport number. I'll take your check-in over the phone, but try to check in on the radio if at all possible. Okay, before we proceed, we have had a death in the family. I will make the announcement right after we get done with check-ins. So, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take short time mobilizations for check-ins. If you can't stay with the net, you got family business or something, you got a TV show you like to watch, but you're just driving through the area, we'll take your short time mobilizations. If you have traffic, we'll do your traffic right away. After that, we'll take general check-ins. First, we'll take general check-ins in northern Illinois. Next, we'll take general check-ins in southern Wisconsin. After that, we'll take general check-ins from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin. When you check in, stay rather than not, you have traffic. Your traffic consists of breakfast, bike rides, marathons, or handfests. So, then we'll do our regular features. First, we'll do the Friday Night Fun Net Tech Corner. Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? What kind of antenna do you want to put up on your tower? What kind of radio do you want to buy? Bass, mobile, all mode, system fusion radio, APRS, FT8, or what have you. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Then we'll do the Friday Night Fun Net contest / DX Corner. There were no reports last week, so we'll see. We'll try it again tonight. Did you make any DX contacts this week? If you know of any contests that are going on this weekend. If you do, we would love to hear about them. Then we'll do our swap net. If you have any items to buy, sell, trade, or want to relate to hobbies or amateur radio or computers, we'll do that. Okay, the round table tonight. What are your memories of the old electronics stores that used to be around here? B&B Electronics, J&J Electronics, Allied Radio Shack, or the old Radio Shack stores in Rockford? That's what we'll talk about. What are your favorite memories of those places? I had 27 on-air check-ins last week. We were talking about the telephone situation on Thursday of last week. What kind of a phone you were using? What phone company do you do business with? That was a great discussion last week. Okay, with all the so-called formalities out of the way, let's get underway. Do we have any short-time mobilizations I'd like to check in? Please call now.
W9 KLG, short-time mobile, no traffic.
KB9SSB, Mike, no traffic.
Way to work, okay. Kevin, I've got you checked in. Drive safely, and thanks for checking in. Any more short-time remote stations you want to check in, please call now.
AC9JZ, Jimmy, it's Mike. Short time, no traffic.
AC9JZ, Mike in Rockford. Okay, Mike, I've got you checked in. You have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. Any more short-time remote stations you want to check in, please call now.
KB9SSV, Mike, no traffic.
KB9SSV, Mike in Loves Park, Roscoe. I've got you checked in, Mike. Thanks for checking in, and I'm sure we'll talk to you tomorrow night in the Saturday evening ride unit. I'll be net control tomorrow night, too. Thanks for checking in. Any more short-time remote stations you want to check in, please call now.
No. AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe, short time, no traffic.
AC9NW, Tom and Roscoe. Okay, Tom, I've got you checked in. Sundry, you have a good evening. Thanks for checking in. There was another station trying to check in. Another station come back.
You're not believing, you're not hear me, Jimmy. NIGLB, one and done.
Okay, Dave, N9DLB, Dave here in Freeport, about a mile east of me, lives north of beautiful downtown Freeport. Okay, Dave, there was another station checking in that completely covered you, but he's already checked in, I've got you checked in. Thanks for checking in, Dave Sundry, have a good evening. Any more short-time remote stations you want to check in, please call now.
Alpha 9, Victor uniform. Michael in Janesville. I don't have any traffic, Jimmy.
AA9VU, Mike in Janesville. I've got you checked in, Mike. Sundry, have a good evening. Thank you for checking in. Any more short-time remote stations, the Friday Night Fun Net, please call now.
KC9QPL, Paul and Lewisburg, short time tonight, 73.
KC9QPL, Paul and Wells Park. Okay, Paul, I've got you checked in short time. Sundry, have a good evening. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Any more short-time remote stations you want to check in, please call now. Unable to copy. Last station tried to check in. You might want to increase your power or change location. All I copy is just nothing more noise. Let's try that one more time, please. Okay, do we have any more short-time remote stations? I'd like to check the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 short-time stations tonight. Okay, now we'll move on to general check-ins. At this time, I'll take any general check-ins from Northern Illinois who would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
November 9, Oscar Echo Golf. Chris in South Beloit. I have no traffic, and good evening, Jimmy.
N9OEG, Chris in South Beloit. Okay, Chris, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you a few minutes around there. Well, thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins in Northern Illinois? I'd like to check the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now.
KD9
Okay, I had 2 stations to check in at the same time. I was not able to copy any of you. Let's try that one more time, please. Okay, do we have any more stations who'd like to check the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now.
89YBG, Dale and Rockford.
KD9M18.
Okay, I've got 2 stations checked in. KD9YBG, Dale and Rockford. I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you, Field Miss Roundtable. Thanks for checking in. KD9MAP, Carrie and Rockford, the Duke of Digital DX. Got you checked in. We missed you last week there, Carrie. But, okay, I've got you checked in this time. I'll get back to you, the Field Miss Roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now.
89 YFT, Rich and Jana.
KD9YFG in Chena, Illinois. Okay, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you, Field Miss Roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now.
89 MED, Mike and Rochelle with traffic.
89 MED. Okay, Mike, I've got you checked in. Do you want to give your traffic now, or would you rather wait? It's up to you.
Oh, I'll give it now. I'll just keep it real short, Jimmy. In case anybody's interested in learning some Morse code, there is an app now called Morse It. I've had it for a while. Brief reset here. But anyways, the reason I'm telling you about it is because it's been upgraded and it now has a QSO bot. So in other words, you can hook a Morse code key right up to your iOS device and carry on a conversation all by itself. This is KD9MED, back to net.
Okay, sounds good on that Morse code. That sounds good. Now, what frequency would that be on, or is that on the internet?
Well, actually, it's an app that runs on the iPad, and there's a way to connect with others over the internet with it as well. If I understand the directions correct, like I say, it's an upgrade for an app. Brief reset, and I've used it for some time now. But like I say, it's been upgraded by the guy that made the software, and I actually worked with him on interfacing real physical Morse code keys to the iPad, and now you can use it with a real Morse code key. And I've got a internet check-in for you as well.
Okay, Mike, go ahead with that internet check-in.
All right, that'd be Patrick. Keep finding $9 silver.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good, Pat. Thanks. Yeah, I talked to him. He checked in on the Monroe, Wisconsin, Green County Areas race. He said at 7:30 p.m. Sundays on 145 cent repair in Monroe. PL 123.0 minus all. Said, yeah, sometimes I checked him in there too. So, okay, sounds good. Thanks for that internet check-in, Mike, and thank you for that traffic reference Morse code net. Hopefully you'll get a lot of use there. Okay, we're still taking check-ins from Northern Illinois for the Friday Night Fun Net. Please call now. Okay, there'll be no further check-ins from Northern Illinois. We'll see how many checks we get from Southern Wisconsin. A station in Southern Wisconsin would like to check the Friday Night Fun Net this time. Please call now.
KC9 RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin.
RGG, Norm in Orfordville, Wisconsin. Okay, Norm, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you, Field Miss Roundtable. Thanks for checking in. Any more general check-ins in Southern Wisconsin would like to check in? Please call now.
K9 ZIP, Joe in Janesville.
K9 ZIP, Joe in Janesville. Okay, Joe, I've got you checked in. I'll get back to you, Field Miss Roundtable. Thank you for checking in. Any more general check-ins from Southern Wisconsin would like to check in? Please call now. Well, it this Friday night fish Friday night in Wisconsin. Everybody's at their favorite bar, restaurant, tavern, eating their catfish, buffalo, carp, northern pike, walleye, muskie, bluegills, or crappies. Those of you in the Milwaukee area, you're eating your Polish sausages, hot dogs, brats, kielbasa, or Braunschweiger. Hershey cheese lovers are eating some of that famous Wisconsin cheese. Okay, at this time, I'll take chances from anywhere in northern Illinois or southern Wisconsin for the Friday night fun day. Please call now. Okay, there being no further check-ins at this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is with the deepest regret that I announce the passing of Dan Heilman, Kilo 9 Echo India Delta. He passed away on Wednesday, February 28th, after a battle with cancer. I don't know that much about this individual, but I've heard his name mentioned quite a few times on the different nets and stuff. I found out this information from Joe, K9JPP, who told me about it there. And later on, I got a phone call from Al, K9EPZ. He said he used to talk to him a couple times checked on some of the different nets there, and on the HF net. Joe was telling me he got to meet him in person twice. So, okay. Does anybody have any comments concerning the passing of Dan Heilman, K9EID? Okay, well, I thought maybe Joe and Al would be around making a comment. So I'll tell you what. At this time, I'm going to do a 1 minute all keys down moment of silence in the memory of Dan Heilman and K9EID, and after which I will do a last call in his honor. We will now do a 1 minute all keys down moment of silence. K9EID, Kilo 9 Echo, India Delta, K9 GCR.
KC9 GCR, you got the name wrong.
Oh boy, what's going on? Oh boy, tell me about it.
That was Bob Heil, K9EID. He died. He's the guy that makes audio equipment, and I have a few of his mics and a lot of his equipment.
Oh boy, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kevin. I wasn't sure if that was the right name or not, but I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead. But thank you very much for that information. Okay, we'll continue. K9EID, K9EID, K9 GCR. K9EID, Kilo 9 Echo India Delta, K9 GCR. No signal, K9 GCR be clear. 7-3s, Bob, may you rest in peace. Okay, this is K9 GCR. We just did a 1-minute call keys down moment of silence on the last call in honor of Bob Heil, K9EID, who passed away Wednesday, February 28th after a battle with cancer. I am sure, I do not know if Amateur Radio Newsline has put out the broadcast or not. Those of you who have internet, you might want to check out Amateur Radio Newsline .org. Or whatever, see if they have that or not. We don't hear Amateur Radio Newsline until Wednesday of the following week during our Wednesday evening swap net. So I'm sure we'll hear that if there's any information about that, we'll definitely hear about it. Thanks to Kevin W9KLG for that correction. Okay, before we continue, I'm sure if Joe or Al check, and we'll hear more about Bob Heil. At this time, do we have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, let's, what we did hear traffic from K9MED representative Morris Code Net. Okay, does any, I'll get my traffic then. Tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m., the Freeport Public Library, we will have our bi-monthly meeting of the State Line Amateur Radio Club. They will meet in the Freeport Public Library. I'm not sure whether they'll meet in the rooms downstairs or upstairs in the second floor conference room, the boardroom. But again, at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, Freeport Public Library, State Line Amateur Radio Club will be holding their bi-monthly meeting. If you're not doing anything tomorrow afternoon, come on over. I'm sure Tony N9RB, our president, and our EC here, Steve Scott, would appreciate it. So, okay, that's all the traffic I have. Do we have any more stations? What traffic do I have to pass along? Okay, let's move on. Let me get my papers straightened out here. All right. Now, let's do the Friday Night Fun Net's Tech Corner. What kind of radio or do you want to buy? Are you interested in base, mobile, all mode, system fusion, APRS, FT8, or what have you? What kind of an antenna you want to put up on your tower? Are you having a problem with your power supply or amplifier? This is your opportunity. If you have any technical questions, please feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Anybody have any technical questions they'd like to bring before the net? Okay, last station trying to check in. You might want to increase your power. I'm barely copying you at all. Try it again, please. Okay, Al. I don't know what's going on. I'm just barely able to copy you. There's quite a bit of noise with your signal.
That better, Jimmy?
I'll tell you what, Al, I don't know what's going to happen here. Do you have any comments concerning, just a minute, Bob Heil at K9EID? Do you have any comments about him?
Oh, and by the way, I should sound better now. I was on horizontal. I didn't realize it. I am talking to you on one of his microphones. He's been very well known as far as microphones and stuff for amateur radio and also for the audio industry, music, bands, that sort of thing. But we're best know him on amateur radio is for his microphones and his headsets and such for amateur radio. And I also used Talk, and he's also was a wing nut on 7230 at 40 meters. So I used to talk to him on there. But yeah, you ever hear everybody say they're using a high-old microphone? He's the guy.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Al, thank you very much for your comments here. We appreciate it. Oh boy, just a minute. I better check you in the net here. Okay, sounds good there, Al. So, okay, right now we're in the middle of the Friday Night Fun Net. I haven't even started yet. We're in the middle of the tech corner, but okay. Well, I'll tell you what. That'd be a good subject for the tech corner. They're talking about Bob Heil. Yeah, he will surely be missed. That's for sure.
I also did have a tech question because I tried, and McCullough tried, and Justin was here yesterday, and he tried. We cannot get anything to work on to connect my my new laptop to my radio, and it seems that we're having problems because it's Windows 11, and I'm wondering if anybody has managed to get anything like can't think of it now, but any of the digital mode software or anything to operate on a Windows 11 computer.
Well, let's see if anybody can help you out there. So I don't know. Anybody is there anybody on there able to help Al out with this situation? Well, I guess I'm sorry about that, Al. I guess nobody's able to help you. Hopefully you'll find hopefully somebody will be, if anybody's is listening, then maybe they can give you some assistance or give you a call or something like that.
Yeah, otherwise when we get to the swap net part, I may have to put my new laptop up for sale.
If you sure, we'll get into that in a few minutes or after we do the Friday Night Fun Net contest in the X Corner. We'll get the swap net in just a few minutes there. Sorry we couldn't help you out, but we'll see what we can do. Thanks for taking it. We'll get back to you in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I want a brand new computer. Just for the sole purpose of operating my radio, so I could do FT8 and stuff, and otherwise, I haven't, I don't have any use for it. I do 99% of the stuff on my cell phone, and but anyway, I'll let you get back to that K90PZ.
Okay, Al, we'll get back to you in a few minutes of your swap net traffic. Thanks. Okay, now let's go ahead with the Friday Night Fun Net contest / DX Corner. Did anybody make any DX reports or their contests, or does anybody know of any contests that are going on this weekend?
KD9MAP.
K9MAP. Okay, Gary, what do you got for us?
Thank you, Jimmy. Good evening, everybody. I was on the air on HF for 2 hours this week. I made 21 contacts, and there were 10 countries outside the United States. None of them are really all that notable. I guess the most distant one would be Sao Paulo, Brazil. PY2WDX, who has quickly confirmed, and I always appreciate that. Brief reset. Brazil's one of those DX destinations that's pretty easy to work from Rockford. I don't know why. On the high bands, I have a special luck on 15 and 10. I've made 170 contacts to Brazil in all, and 42 of them are out of this same grid square in Sao Paulo. So all these ham radio operators live in this one grid square there. It's very popular, I guess. Brief reset. So that's all I got, Jimmy. Thanks a lot. KD9MAP.
Okay, Kerry, sounds good. Yeah, Brazil, let's see, they're getting ready to, they're moving into autumn down there. Their summer's just about wrapping up there. So, okay, that sounds good. Does anybody have any questions for Kerry, K9MAP? Okay, Kerry, do you know of any contests that are taking place this weekend?
I don't have that right to hand, Jimmy. I was hoping somebody else could fill us in on that. KD9MAP.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for that DX report there. Does anybody have any information about any contests that are taking place this weekend? Okay, one moment, please. Okay, now we're going to go into the SwapNet portion. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be related to hobbies of amateur radio or computers. All items to be bought, sold, or traded must be the property of or in possession of the person who wants to get rid of stuff. Any mentioned prices over there, but any haggling should take place either in person or over the table. Also, no commercial business of any kind is allowed. Does anybody have any SwapNet traffic they'd like to pass along? K9EPZ, Al, you had SwapNet traffic, you still there?
Still here. Yeah, I've got, I have my MFJ 1226 noise canceller. I still want to sell it. Since I don't need it anymore. It was fine to have when I was getting a whole bunch of power line noise I needed to get rid of, but since they buried the power lines, I'm not getting that anymore. So figure I'd sell it, and possibly my brand new Windows 11 laptop. I may be selling it too. I'm trying to remember. I have to look it up. I think it goes for like 360 new, and it is new. The only time it's been used is a couple of times trying to get it to work with the radio, and I guess I take a couple hundred for that. And noise canceller, I know I looked that up the other day. They're up around $300, but I'll take 100 for it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, now. Al, K9EPZ has for sale an MFJ 1226, a noise canceller. He's asking $100 for it. He also is going to put up for sale a brand new Windows 11 laptop computer. He's asking about a couple $100 for it. Okay, Al, how can anybody contact you?
They can send me an email at kd9epz@comcast.net, or what the heck. My phone number is area code 630-600-1520.
you like to repeat that phone number again? Because I'm not a fast rider. I was trying to ride as fast as I can there. Go ahead and give out that phone number again.
Phone number is area code 630-600-1520. That's 630-600-1520.
Okay, sounds good. Now, does anybody have any questions relating for these two items that are for sale? Okay, Al, hope your phone rings off the hook. That's what the late great Russ Love, NIL, said to say when you ran the Wednesday evening swap net there. Hopefully your phone rings off the hook. Hey, Al, thanks for checking in, and I'll get back to you in a few minutes with the round table. Thanks for that swap net traffic. Good luck in trying to get rid of that stuff.
Jimmy, I'll be listening here. 89 ETZ, back on that.
Okay, does anybody else have any swap net traffic you'd like to pass along? Okay, just I'm trying to get my papers all together here. It's a good thing somebody's not here with the camera recording all this. See me shoving all my papers around and what have you. Okay, before we proceed with the roundtable, are there any more stations I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now.
This is KD9GDY, Jim in Beloit, Wisconsin.
KD9GDY, good evening to you, Jim. What's going on with you? I'll tell you what, rather than have you wait, let us know about how the Greater Boyd Radio Club's 60th anniversary went, and then the W9B station.
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, this is KD9GDY, located here in Beloit. Well, the special event called Whiskey 9 Bravo is, we finished up with that now. We're no longer hosting that call, but we ended up with 1,460 QSOs. That's 1,460. We had 908 on phone, 488 on digital, and 64 on CW.
That is terrific. That is terrific. Congratulations. Congratulations on that achievement.
Thanks, Jimmy. KD9QVB Brian, he had the top QSO count. I think he had around like 513 all on phone. So anyway, kudos to him. So he represented that call pretty well. So yeah, we're doing fine here. Just upstairs with the YL. We're watching a movie. So I think I'm going to bow out of here. I just want to stop in. We'll give you one for the check-in there and give you the update on the Whiskey 9 Bravo. So, all right, Jimmy, and thanks for taking the call earlier today there. So this is KD9GDY, and I'll be listening out here for about a minute, and then I got to run upstairs. 7-3.
You're welcome, and congratulations to you for their 60th anniversary Greater Boyd Radio Club. There was over 14,000 contacts were made by station W9B. Well, in 10 more years, in 2034, you'll have them celebrate your 70th anniversary. Okay, thanks for checking in, Jim. Have a good evening. Do we have any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please go now. Okay, the roundtable. What are your memories of B&B Electronics, J&J Electronics, Allied Radio Shack, or Radio Store, or what have you there? Some of the old electronic stores used to be in the Rockford area. I don't know if W9KLG is still listening or not. Kevin, if you're still there, what memories do you have of those old stores that you used to do business with?
Oh, J-Tronics. I used to go there and get coax. Bob's, B&B Bob's Electronics. I've had him work on a couple of amplifiers for me. Radio Shack, man, that was the best place to go to get parts sometimes. And if they didn't have it, J-Tonics had it. Not like today, that's for sure. Everything, most of the time you can't get it unless it's on the internet. W9KLG, be back to net.
This is K9 GCR to Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD repeater in Rockford, transferring for Friday Night Fun Net Central Area Freeport. Boy, ain't that the truth. Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a Radio Shack store in Monroe.
Oh, there is? That's pretty cool. That's still quite a ways away from me. And I heard about that one up there. There's not a Radio Shack, but there's an electronics store up there in Kenosha, I believe. That's what they said.
Yeah, who was about 2 or 3 weeks ago went there? I think was, oh boy. I think it was Matt, W3MBX, or what have you, some other ones that went there.
Yeah, I think it was Matt, W3MBX, yeah. I'd like to go to that one. Hopefully it's a huge place so you can, it's like the way the electronic stores used to be. They had all the parts on the shelves or in drawers or whatever, you know. That was pretty awesome to have stuff like that. Usually you went in there with a list and got what you needed, and then you got extra. W9KLG, back to net.
Okay, sounds good, Kevin. Thanks. Thanks for checking and mentioning about that stuff there. Yeah, those old places. Thanks for checking in. Okay. N9OEG, Chris in South Beloit. Are you still with us? Where did you used to go? What are the memories of some of the favorite stores you used to go to?
N9OEG. Hello, Jimmy. Yeah, I got my first ham gear at Radio Shack right after I got my license. It was an HTX 202 handy talkie, and I've got a couple of 10-meter rigs from Radio Shack, an HTX 10 and an HTX 100, and both are still kicking and going strong. And as far as B&B electronics go, I used to like going there just a window shop. I did buy a rig down there. I bought a President HR 2510 down there, and that was my first taste of kind of free band CB before I had my ticket. And I sold it to buy a real 2-meter rig, a Yaesu FT 5100. And I missed that radio. But thank goodness to eBay, I was able to purchase yet another HR 2510. So I get to relive my old CB days, but on 10 meters legally, thanks to B&B Electronics. But yeah, the big thing is I used to be fascinated by all the stuff they had in the glass cabinets there, stuff that was beyond my price range at the time. N9OEG, back to net control.
Oh, that's great, that's great. My late Elmer, Al Rislab, KB9 SCW, he took me to B&B Electronics a couple of times. I remember one time I was there. I looked around, there was an old Lafayette Telsat SSB 140. That was one of my I used to have that when I was a CB operator. Oh yeah, that was 40 channels there, and I said, oh boy, that sure brought back a lot of memories. That's for sure. Okay, Chris, thanks for checking into the Friday Night Fun Net, telling about those old electronics places. You definitely sure missed them. That's for sure. We'll talk to you later. 7-3. Thanks for checking in. K9YBG, Dale, I don't know if you ever went to any of some of those old electronics places, B&B Electronics, Allied Radio Store, the J&J Electronics, but this is long before you became a ham radio operator. You've been in this hobby for about a year now. Do you have any memories of some of those places?
KD9YBG. Well, no, I didn't have a ham license then, but back in those days, CB I was using, and I went in the Radio Shack back in '76 and bought the Navajo Realistic 23 channel, kind of a base CB, And I used to go over there a lot too to check radio tubes and TV tubes over there on their tube testers. And I did go to J-Tronics to get stuff, and I used to go into B&B Electronics there on Auburn Street and see that guy smoking a cigarette working on a ham radio, and I just kind of window shopped over there. KD9YBG back to net.
Okay, Dave, nothing wrong with that. That's for sure. Okay, Dale. Hey, thanks for checking in. KD9MAP. Gary, of course, I know you grew up in Chicago, so I'm sure there were plenty of electronic stores in there that you went to back in the day. And of course, I don't know how many years you lived in Rockford, but did you go to any of those stores, J&J Electronics, B&B Electronics, or what have you?
This is KD9MAP. Well, when I was a kid in Chicago, I got most of my parts by salvaging junk electronics out in the alley, TVs and radios and stuff. I did take a bus trip out to Allied Electronics once, and just window shop. I've lived in Rockford for 51 years now, and the place that I spent the most money was Allied. In the 70s, I lived 2 blocks away from Allied. And brief reset. That was when I started out with personal computers back in 1974. And I was buying a lot of vector boards and wire wrap sockets, and everything had gold-plated pins back then. And these days, that stuff is very valuable as collector's items, or what, I don't know if people are stripping and selling the gold off of them. I did shop at J&M. Didn't go to J-Tronics much. Didn't go to Radio Shack that much, but when I needed something and I needed it really fast, I guess Radio Shack gets thumbs up. It helped a lot there. A brief reset. These days we don't have the brick and mortar stores anymore to go to, but on the other hand, we have an infinite selection of electronics and radio-related stuff on the internet. There's nothing you can name that you can't buy on the internet that's related to this field. So I think in the net we've benefited. KD9MAP.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, of course, you got that store in Kenosha. Of course, there's always a good old HRO in Milwaukee there too. So, Kerry, okay, thanks. Thanks for checking in and tell us about your back in the day there when you go to those different electronic stores. Okay, KD9YFG in China. What are your memories of some of the old electronic stores you used to go to? Or maybe you're probably too young to remember some of those old electronic stores. I don't know how old you are, but do you have any pleasant memories of those places? KD9YFG, are you still with us? All right, I guess it must have been short time. So we'll move to KD9MED. Mike, what are your favorite memories of some of those old electronic stores? B&B Electronics, J&J Electronics, back in the day.
Hey, KD9MED here. Well, yeah, I did a lot of shopping at the Radio Shacks over there in DeKalb, especially out through high school. If I couldn't find it there at Radio Shack, there was always, I think it was Jameco or DigiKey, but those were, mail order. And brief reset here. Yeah, there's one other electronic shop I found up in Rockford, but I'm pretty sure they're not in business anymore, and I can't remember what the name of them is, and I want to say they're up there by 11th Street. Do you know what that was, Jimmy?
Somebody else listening could probably help you out.
Okay, yep. I went in there a couple times, and they had quite a bit of electronics and stuff up there. But I don't know if they exist anymore. It's been a while since I've been up in that area of town. But yeah, that's what I like for electronics stores and all that. KD9MED, back to net.
Okay, sounds good. Well, maybe I'm sure that we'll probably get some more check-ins later on. Somebody will know about this. Okay, sounds good. Mike, thanks for checking in. Let me know if you got any more internet check-ins. Okay, let's move on. Let's see. All right. KC9RGG, Norm. Where did you used to go back in your day there for? What electronic store you used to go back in the day?
KC9GCR, KC9RGG. Jim, it was way back in the 1950s. I got interested in shortwave radio listening, and I wanted to build a shortwave radio. So I got one from Allied Electronics, 100 Northwestern Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. My father drove me in there. We bought the kit for, I think it was about $20. Brought it home, dumped it out on the table. My father was an accountant. He looked at all those capacitors, resistors, and hookup wire and said, I don't know anything about this, and he walked away. 2 weeks later, following the instructions, I had a real nice night spanner radio. So that's my story on the old-time Radio Shack stores, Allied Electronics, 100 Northwestern Avenue. KC9GCR, KC9RGG.
Okay, sounds good there, Al. Norm, that's great. That's great. Allied Radio Store, yes. Oh, that sounds good. Okay, Al. I don't know why I want to call you Al. I had K9EPZ on my mind there. Okay, Norm, thanks for checking in. I better let you go so you can hit the sack. Oh, boy. Let's move on here. K9ZIP, Joe. Where did you used to go back in the day for your electronics? What, BB Electronics, J&J Electronics, or where did you used to go?
This is K9ZIP. Good evening, Jimmy in the net. Yeah, the only place on that list that I ever had in any town I lived in was Radio Shack. And my fondest memories of Radio Shack are actually back from the 70s when I was a small child, like early grade school. My parents, when they'd go shopping at the mall, they would just dump me off at the Radio Shack because I knew I liked looking at all the stuff in there. And there was this guy that worked there. He didn't always seem to appreciate me being there, and I'd ask him questions, bug him. I just remember him getting red in the face. His mustache would do weird things and everything. But I think after a while I grew on him. And always, my parents would pick me up at the Radio Shack. We'd be driving home, and they'd be talking about him. They called him Moose, but they told me never to call him that. Fun memories. K9ZIP, back to net.
Okay. I don't know, you know there's a Radio Shack in Monroe, don't you?
No, I did not. Is that recently opened? Is that part of the new Radio Shack revival?
I don't know. It's been open for a few years now. That's all I know about it. I've never been there, but I've heard talk about it, and stories about it.
Well, I have to go check that out. There was one in Evansville, which isn't far from here, up until a few years ago. I think that ended right around when COVID started. I don't think it survived COVID.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good there. So, okay, Joe, thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. You have a good evening. We'll talk to you down the line. Let's see. K9GDY is already gone, so he's checked out. KD9EPZ, Al, back in your day, where did you used to go? What electronic stores did you used to go in there, growing up in Chicago or Elgin, what have you?
Well, when I was in Chicago, when I was young, used to go to Allied Radio. Like the other gentleman mentioned, I built a shortwave receiver from a kit. It was a Night Kit Star Roamer. I think it was the model above the one that he built. I built that, and then I built a a 23-channel CB base station. I was at a model 2567, and then I built, nasty me, a T175 linear amplifier from a kit. America, I used to get all kinds of night kits because my cousin back in the day was a buyer for at Allied Radio, and he'd get them to me at employee price. So I'd get a discount on all the stuff. So I used to go there, and yeah, I can remember when Radio Shack stores were open. Any part you needed a capacitor, you needed a resistor, they had it. It's kind of bad. The store in Monroe, which is where I bought my Home Patrol 2 unit and scanner. What they was a affiliate, what they called it, they were a franchise store. So the gentleman in Monroe owned it. So when they closed up all the corporate stores and everything, he kept his store open. So it's still there. And like I said, I bought my scanner from him, but I didn't go in there. I was already disabled. But I called them on the phone and ordered it, and they shipped it to me. But yeah, kind of miss Radio Shack, because it used to be, at least before they got too crazy in worrying about cellular phones and nothing else. They used to have all the component parts for anything.
Boy, ain't that the truth. That's where I used to go to all the when we first moved to Freeport here back in 1979. Of course, I was not too far from the Lincoln Mall. Well, I'm practically next door to it now, because they used to have a Radio Shack, and next door they had Sound City USA. You used to buy a lot of stereo stuff. They used to sell record albums and all that stuff like that. But I used to always like and the DeGroat radio and TV. We've known DeGroat for many years there, from back in the days when we used to live in Rydot. They used to, whenever our TV set went out, Mom and Dad would give them a call. They'd be right up there the next day, not the next day, the same day, and repair the TVs. But Radio Shack, boy, that was the nuts there. Then they moved to the south edge of town. That's where I bought my Home Patrol 1 scanner back in 2014. So it's about 10 years old there. So yeah, that was a good place. I definitely miss that place.
Yeah, there was another place, I can't remember the name of it, in Mount Pride, yeah, it used to be in Wheeling, at Hintz Road and Wheeling Road, and I can't remember the name of it. There used to be an electronic parts distributor there that you could go in and pick up parts, but I can't remember the name of it. But they had anything. If you wanted to go there, you were going to make a wire antenna, needed the A insulators, they had them. So, but, and then there was, if you were in the Chicago area, there was Olson Electronics. I remember them. Matter of fact, I had one radio, what they called an Olson Sidebander, which was actually made by Regency. But anyway. Yeah. Now like was said, now you just order your parts from Amazon.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think if I order anything radio-wise, I gotta just get it from HRO. Al, I'll tell you what. Thanks for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Like I said, I hope your phone rings off the hook there. Maybe we'll contact you about that stuff you want to get rid of.
Yeah, weren't you going to mention something? You want to know who people are using for telephone service? I'm using Xfinity Mobile.
Yeah, that was last week's net. That's what I was asking. What's your favorite? Last week I was asking everybody, well, what kind of phone do you use and who is your phone? What phone company do you do business with there?
Okay, yeah, it may have been last week, and I'm still using Xfinity Mobile, which is actually the towers are actually Verizon.
This is K9 GCR, the Friday Night Fun, and the K9 RV Repair in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun at Central and Freeport. Okay, the sounds good, yeah. My phone company is Frontier, and my cable company is Comcast.
Jimmy, yeah, I was going to say, you don't have a cellular phone, but if you were going to, since you're a Comcast customer, you get up to 4 cellular lines for free. Just have to pay for minimum for data, and that only costs me $15 a month, so that's all I pay for my cell phone.
Well, if I ever did get one, I want the same number. I don't want no different. I want my 2323636 or 232 FN. I don't want no separate number.
You can do that. You just port your number over. That's no problem. In fact, my phone number I've got now, I've had on Verizon, I've had on Xfinity Mobile, I've had on AT&T. I had it on T-Mobile at one time, I think. So yeah, you can port numbers over when you change phone companies. You just take the number with you.
I'll tell you what, Al. This is a true story too. This is back in 2012 when I got my Friday Night Fun number 232 FN 2323636. I still had my original phone number 2327222. In fact, I had 2 telephones with the 2 separate numbers here at the desk. It got to the point where I was paying too much money to have for the one line, and I thought, well, you know what? I can't have that, so I could run my 7222 number, so I kept my 3636 or FN number.
Oh yeah, I had the same thing. I had a landline phone here, and I found I keep getting robocalls and wanting to renew my warranty on my car and all kinds of stuff. And I said that's all I'm getting is junk calls, and why am I paying for this? So I had it turned off.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. So okay, we're getting off the subject here, but we're not a formal net there. So Al, thanks for checking in. And by the way, speaking of Radio Shack, I gotta read this. This is number 21 of the original Radio Nut joke. You know you're a radio nut when your spouse goes to the supermarket while you look around in Radio Shack.
K9FLO, check in.
K9FLO. Hello, Dean.
Hi, Jimmy. How's it going?
Well, I'm doing just fine. We missed you. I know you hadn't checked in for about 2 or 3 weeks, but that's what we're doing. I'm doing fine. How's things going with you?
Pretty good. I had to get new batteries for my radio, I guess. Hey, I just noticed on the web here, Bob Heil died, and apparently it was possibly today. I don't know if anybody else has heard that or not. There, Jimmy, go ahead.
No, it was this past Wednesday, the 28th. I first heard about Joe K9JPP called me on the radio here. He told me about it, and later on, Al K9EPZ called me on the phone. But yeah, I already did a tribute to him. I did a moment of silence, and I screwed up on his name there. So I did a tribute, and I think Al commented on him, and I did a moment of silence and a last call. So yeah, but yeah, that was definitely unfortunate there.
Yeah, that's too bad. He really added a lot to our hobby. He really, came out with some great microphones and that. So it's really miss having his knowledge and expertise around. But I guess it'd been going on for a while. Just reading here about him that cancer got to him. Yeah, that's too bad. I think the last time I seen him was up at HRO, I believe, or it might have been AES. No, I think it was HRO. One of the last Superfest things they had back a few years ago. And really nice to talk to, very informative. And, of course, you can't beat the products. So enough of that. And how's it going otherwise, Jimmy? No, I haven't been around. Had some other stuff going on, but I guess the weather's brought me out. Maybe. But what's happening? What's the subject tonight? Go ahead.
We're talking about the old electronic stores of years ago, about the old Radio Shack stores, B&B Electronics, J&J Electronics, Allied Radio Store, or what have you. Where did you used to go back in the day?
Well, gosh, we had three of them in Rockford. And, of course, back when I was young, they didn't like having creepy little kids coming in the electronics stores. So that was something else, too. I used to hit up J-Tronics for parts. That was my favorite parts place. But, of course, like I said, we don't want a little kid in there bothering all us technicians and the service guys in there. And used to hit J&M because they always had a good selection of tubes there. And then H&H was my early hangout, but I was very young then. I had to depend on alternate transportation, known as my mother at those days. And I actually bought my first radio at H&H Electronics here in Kishwaukee. It was an interesting store to go into. They had, that was like heaven for ham radio there, Jimmy. Go ahead.
Sounds good. Someone was wanting to know the name of that place there. It was somewhere on 11th Street. H&H. Okay, that explains it then.
11th Street was not 11th, right around there. Not that was, I think, J&M was on 11th. Oh, there was also Midwest Electronics. That was one of the more recent ones that they were more industrial electronics. That was on. Now I'm having a senior moment already. I don't want to say third, 5th or 6th Street. That was in South 6th Street. That's where they were at, and that was more industrial electronics. But they did carry tubes there, and they were real good there. They were one of the last ones. J-Tronics was the last one to close. Kathy gave up on it and called it retirement, and too bad, hated to see it go, but the location there wasn't exactly the finest location in Rockford to be with a product like that. And yeah, it's kind of we used to have quite a few electronic stores, supply houses they were called back then, and of course they're all gone now. Even our good old Radio Shack. I can remember when we had a Lafayette store there on North Main Street, just down the block from the McDonald's, the first McDonald's in Rockford. And there was a Lafayette, and I think they called them back then an associate store. There was one on North Main, and there's one up in South Beloit. And the one in South Beloit was the first one in the area, and you could go up there, and they had all the radios that Lafayette had in those days. It was kind of fun to see it. It was very impressive to see the the toys of that time, and you know, it's. But kind of miss that. Kind of miss having Radio Shacks around. You know, that was always handy to go get that resistor that you didn't have, and of course that's all gone. KC9 GCR, K9 FLO.
This is KC9 GCR with the Friday Night Fun and a K9 RFD repair in Rockford, transmitting for Friday Night Fun at Central and Freeport. Sounds good there. Oh yeah, the Lafayette store. I think I remember that one. Yeah, you know, I don't know if you know this or not, but there is a Radio Shack store in Monroe. They've been in operation for a few years now.
Okay, that must be one of the old franchises that hung around. There used to be one in Galena too. When I had an office in Galena, there was a Radio Shack on one side of a plumbing shop there right on Main Street in Galena. And yeah, the old, I can't remember what they called it. They were an associate or franchise store, and they would try to carry their products, and that was kind of nice. But I think that one's gone, because I think the hardware store was sold too, and they put some kind of a tour shop in there, like a restaurant or something like that. Jimmy, go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. We used to have a Radio Shack store here in Freeport. They're down there at the Lincoln Mall. They moved out to south edge of town. But yeah, that was about it there. By the way, Kurt, KE9N has not yet checked in.
Hello, Echo 9 Norway checking in.
He's saved.
Okay, and Kurt, we got you checked in. Well, you go ahead and get back to the Dean there, and I'll get back to you later. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Dean and I, over this last week or so, we've had a few conversations, computer discussions, and a little work done on Dean's computer. And let's see here. I don't know what else really to discuss, other than I got that, I see that the stuff we were talking about, that hurricane on Showman Auctions, I guess you can bid now. So bid, go ahead, Dean, and you can bid a lot and bid often.
Did you see any? I haven't looked at it since it came online. What's the bid up to?
You know, I didn't look at that, Dean. I just happened to get the email that said bidding is now open, and so I don't know. You know, and those things go, geez, a couple weeks maybe, somewhere in there. So it may start out real slow. You know, it all depends on how bad someone wants something like that. Cosmetically, they look great. Plus, they have the additional VFO for it, the outboard, let's call it VFO-B. So with that, and I can't remember if there was a speaker or not, but I mean, it was a nice deal. But again, you better hope those tubes are good.
Oh, you're not kidding. Yeah, that's that stuff getting to be a problem. And you know, there's still guys around using them, like the old trying to think who else besides the National had those like 8122s. Those were popular for a while. I'm trying to think the ones with the 250s. And yeah, those days are disappearing. Now it's got to be air cooled with a solid state, which is good. It's certainly a lot better and much more efficient and easier to play with. I did get the email when it came online. Kind of looked at this stuff there. So, and I was going to tell you, I looked today, this afternoon. I pulled that chip, the memory chip, out of the computer, and it you know, without a doubt, it's an HP chip and that. And looked for it. I went on eBay, and boy, I'll tell you what, that memory is very hard to come by. I found only one location that actually had the genuine chip in stock there. Kurt, go ahead.
And I suppose they wanted an arm and a leg for that thing, huh?
Well, I took the arm and leg. Yeah, it was a company called Memory 4. Does that sound familiar? and they had the HP chip, and they had $46 on it. So since nobody else had them, I got it.
Okay, so you bought that chip then, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get that one. Yeah, because nobody else had them.
Well, wait a minute now. If you haven't done it, did you actually buy it, or you're going to buy it?
Well, I told the wife I was going to buy it.
Okay, here's the thing, though, is you don't necessarily have to have HP as a brand memory in there. Another good brand is Crucial. They make hard drives. They've been around a long time. They're a really good company. For just a little bit more, you can actually get 32 gigs of Crucial memory.
Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that and see how that looks. And anyway, that's kind of did a little bit on that there. Let's see. Got to get the emails out for meeting Monday, so got a busy week coming up there, Kurt.
KC9CFL.
KC9CFL. This is KE9N. Go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen, I was just curious what kind of HP device you were talking about.
It's the 8 gig, can't remember what it is, memory chip.
P as in Paul, 0054. I'm guessing, 5 years old, Dean?
Yeah, I'd say probably 5 years old, somewhere around there. When I did on eBay, there was, I don't think anybody had any of those around. There was just that one company that had them, and they were the actual OEM that I could find out there. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, you guys doubled. Is it a server, a desktop, laptop?
Oh, it's just a desktop. And nothing real special necessarily.
Yeah, the only thing I caution you about is making sure that the speed of the memory is the same. Sometimes when you do the little Crucial memory finder, it tries to give you the fastest memory it can, and sometimes the HP boards won't take it. I was an HP certified tech for 5 years.
Okay, well, my name is Kurt. The other fellow is Dean. And what is your name? I've heard your call before. I just can't remember your name.
My name is Mike. I've met you a couple times, Kurt, but not enough for us to remember each other like by face. You know what I mean?
No problem. Glad you chimed in. No, I looked it up actually on the motherboard, and it will support, well, basically it's PC4 up to 21300, which is DDR4 2666. I think I said that right, 3 6s, yeah. So anyhow, I already looked it up to make sure it would be compatible, but you're right. You know, and I was telling Dean, you don't mix memory, different speeds, or preferably not different manufacturers either.
Yeah, it's amazing. For something so standard, they are all so different. But I have to run into Culver's to get my wife ice cream, or I'm going to get in trouble. So I will be listening on the side here in a moment. KC9 CFL, on the side.
Hey, okay, very good. Dean, I'll tell you what I'll do for that memory. Let me send you the link for it.
Okay, that'll work out good. Yeah, and if I, you know, whatever, I'm probably going to end up just getting an 8 meg on it. I'm not going to get any more than that. You know, it's like I find it right now. I'm certainly not having any issues, but I'll tell you what, I am having fun. Do you have, use an Outlook?
Yeah, that's what I use.
Well, if I let the computer set for a while and I go into fire up Outlook to look at, in other words, Outlook's already going, but I go in there and want to read my email, it won't respond. For some reason, the last few days this has happened. Now, granted, it's, I've got the 365, and son of a gun, I can't figure out what's going on, but anyway, it's like you have to do some operation to get it to download incoming mail. I've had that several times happen all day today, and kind of a pain. Done some looking on the internet to see what some of Microsoft says about it, and they tell you to go and check these options in there, make sure set for the read-write actions and all this. But yeah, it goes to sleep, and it doesn't want to wake up. Like when you move the mouse, you gotta go in there and click on some function to make it do something. And that's on my other computer in my computer room there, Kurt. Go ahead.
The only thing, and again, I'm looking at this over the radio, and it's a lot easier to do it in person. The only thing I would check is, and if you want me to come up and show you, I'll be glad to do that. Look at your power options, because a lot of times by default, they'll take your power options and they will, you can suspend your monitor if you want, you can suspend your hard drive, and all that stuff can be put to sleep. Normally I don't do that, but I didn't check yours when I was looking at it. That's the only thing I can think of, like off the top of my head, is looking, and there's a couple different options. One is making it hibernate. Another one is suspending the operation. You got to really kind of dig in there a little bit. But off the top of my head, that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. I have to look into it tomorrow more ambitiously and see what's good. Yeah, it's kind of odd. I've never had any trouble like that before. It just started like yesterday, and yeah, you go in there and you're sitting there waiting for the, you run the mouse over the screen here. I already had the program up and running. Usually it's been running for a while. And you run the mouse over the screen for the, to go active and this and that, and read your mail. Click on, to do that, and just sits there. Nothing happens. But if I go over there and like click, I want to say send and receive, something like that, then that brings it back to life. Real goofy stuff there. So anyway, Jamie, I hope I'm not hogging the net there. I don't want to get in trouble.
No. You're not getting in any trouble. I think that this is what makes this net so great. We're not formal, and we enjoy listening to the radio. This is what it's all about. You guys continue. We're not going anywhere. The night's still young yet.
Well, it's at least younger than we are.
Hi there.
Hey, Kurt. We're talking about the old electronic stores, B&B Electronics, J&J Electronics, Allied Radio. Back in your day, where did you used to go for your electronics?
Well, back in the day, I didn't go very often because I had to have my parents drive me. Because I lived out in the country actually, and where that was is outside of Stillman Valley. So, Stillman, they were lucky to have they didn't even have a stoplight for many years. They had a bank, gas station, grocery store, 2 bars though. So they didn't have anything there. Byron, I'd ride my bike to Byron, but they didn't have anything there. So the only time really I could stop is if I went with my dad typically, and we went into Rockford, and then we'd go to Radio Shack. I do remember going to H&H Electronics or Lafayette, but I didn't go very much because I just I didn't have the money or the means to get there. But that's where I went. Now, once I was driving, of course, then, it was more J-Tronics and Midwest on 6th Street. I'd go to those two places. Usually if one didn't have something, the other place, had something. So that's where I went. KC9GCR, KE9N.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, Dean, I just want to tell you, I got a brand new Yaesu FTM 200 radio thanks to Justin K9FPO and Kevin W9 at the KLG. And I also got a couple weeks ago, they came back and installed a brand new antenna outside my wood. I got a Diamond Super Gainer SG7900. It works. I'm told it works beautiful. I still got the old antenna that Kurt, you and Gary and Jennifer installed back in 2019. I got it. I got a new mag mount and adapter from HRO. Justin came by and installed it. I'm still using the old antenna. I got connected to my FTM 100, and it works beautifully, both transmit and receive.
Over to you, Dean.
A minute, I get on a phone call. Be right back.
Hey, well, that's good, Jimmy. You got everything going, so glad they were able to do that. Now, which antenna are you on right now, Jimmy?
I'm on the new Diamond antenna. That's what they installed too about 2 weeks ago.
It's working real good. I can hear you on the input, no problem.
Yeah, they were telling. I didn't know this, but I was told when I was on 195, I had a little bit of like a bacon frying on my signal. I think that's why they just. And I didn't know this until about a couple weeks ago when they went up to Justin and Kevin went up to HRO. They bought stuff for themselves. They told me, Jimmy, we got a gift for you. We're gonna have a brand new Diamond antenna. I thought, oh boy.
Hey, that's good. Well, it's working well. Okay, Jimmy, I'll let you go. I don't want to tie up the net here, so I'll be listening till about 10 o'clock then. KC9GCR, KE9N.
I'm back.
Sounds good, Kurt. Hey, thank you for checking in. So, okay, Mike, KC9CFL, are you back on the air?
KC9CFL, you had me for about 5 minutes.
Okay, we're talking about the old electronic stores, B&B Electronics and all the other places, Allied Radio Store. Where did you used to go back in the day?
Well, I was from a different area back in the day, so I used to go to Team Electronics in Algonquin. They started out in Dundee, but yeah, it was a great place. And then after that, I found Fry's and didn't need to go anywhere else.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, this is number 21 of the original Radio Nut jokes. You know you're a radio nut when your spouse goes to the supermarket while you look around in Radio Shack.
You know, it's funny, I didn't have a spouse at the time, but the girl I was living with, that's exactly what we do. That, or I would walk around the grocery store with a little HT, and I would have a ground wire coming off of it and clipped onto the metal cart. So, it's an interesting thing.
That's good. I think I got a homemade radio nut joke about something like that too. Well, we'll just look at another time. I better let you go so you can get that ice cream home. You can eat it so you can eat before it melts.
Thanks a lot, Jimmy. KC9, CFL, back to net control.
You're welcome, Mike. Thank you for checking in. Okay, that concludes my list. Are there any more stations you'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun at this time? You're coming over your Friday night fish fry, steak fry, grocery shopping, or the show. If you just turn your radio on, you've been copying me over the last hour and a half. This is your chance to check in the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region. Without traffic, please call KSUN GCR.
Jimmy, let me check out here. Take care, 7-3. Talk to you later. Thanks, Kurt and Mike. Take care, guys. Okay, now flow be clear.
Any comments?
Hey, Dean, one thing is I sent you that email, and to answer your question, I looked this up on this hurricane. They've got 12 days left, almost 13 days left, and right now the high bid on the radio and power supply is $1,225, and then the external VFO, and I guess it's got an antenna bridge in it, that device there right now, that's up to $913. So there you go.
Did I see your name on there?
No, you didn't see my name on there. I just wanted to let you know. Boy, there's going to be some people that really want it. On the radio, they've already got 14 bids, and on that external VFO and antenna bridge, they got 11 bids.
Wow, what are they going to do with some of that? I don't even know if any of those are around anymore. You never hear about them at all, at least the Halcrafters, especially the transmitters. All right, Kurt, hey, I'll catch you later. Got to run. Thanks, Jimmy. Thanks, everybody. K9FM will be clear.
Yeah, they better not spend too much money on the radio. They might need a divorce attorney. KE9, I'll be clear.
Celeries, guys. Always a pleasure talking to you on this net there. KSUN GCR, be clear. Will we have any more stations you want to check in? Please call now.
And BWM, short time.
N9BWM, good evening, Bruce. Hey, before I let you go, where did you used to, we're talking about the old radio, the old electronic stores back in the day. Where did you used to go back then?
I never heard of that H&H, but I'd go to J&M, and I'd go to J-Tronics and Midwest, and Bob out at B&B was a very good friend, all the way up until when he passed away. Yeah, those, and of course Radio Shack, but yeah, those were the places I went.
Okay, Bruce, sounds good. Okay, I'm going to let you go since you're checking in short time. 7-3, have a good evening. Thank you for checking the Friday Night Fun Net. Don't be a stranger. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for checking in.
Before I go, Jimmy, did Brad AA9G change his call sign?
Bruce, that guy's gone through so many call signs, it's pathetic. His call is Alpha Hotel 2 India.
Okay.
He's been checking in lately. I think he checked in about going on about a month ago. Last time we talked, because Justin K9FBO and I were talking. After the net got done, we talked about quarter after 2 the next morning. We told Justin, I said, Justin got a taste of the old midnight net.
Yeah. I'll leave the radio on, but I'll let you go. KC9GCR and 9BWM is clear.
Bruce, thanks for checking in. Talk to you later. Have a good evening, KC9GCR. Any more stations want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. tell you what, I think we'll just forget about Friday Night Fun Net Trivia for the night. We'll do it maybe, we'll do it again next Friday night. So, okay. At this time, let me give you the rundown of all the other nets we have in the area. Tonight at 10 o'clock, about 25 minutes away, you got the Chicago Night Watch net. That takes place on the 443.750 repeater in Chicago with a PL 114.8 Los Angeles. If you cannot hear that repeater, you can switch over to Chad's repeater in Janesville. That's 440.950. 440.950 in the Janesville with a PL 123.0 plus offset. And you can hear the Chicago Night Watch net. Chad's got his repeater linked to the 443.750 repeater in Chicago. That was the case. So if you can't hear the net on 443.750, switch over to 440.950 in Janesville. You can hear it then. So okay, let me reset. Don't forget the Saturday evening gratitude net tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at this frequency, this repeater. I'll be net control. We usually go around and talk about different stuff. Net control usually picks a topic. If you want to talk about that topic, fine. If not, you can bring up something else too. We go around about 2 or 3 different times, or 4 different times. That's what it's all about, rag to it. There is a Saturday night fun net, which takes place also at 8 p.m. on 146.910 repeater in Milwaukee. Well, technically that repeater is in New Berlin, Wisconsin. That has a PL of 127.3 minus offset. That net is a lot more structured than this one. You got to check in a certain way, and some of the topics they talk about, I wouldn't even dream of bringing them. I did not know this until Brad told me. This Friday Night Fun net, when Brad started the Friday Night Fun net, he got the idea from the Saturday Night Fun net in Milwaukee. I was not aware of that until recently. So, okay. Okay, Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. on 3.905 megahertz. That's in the 75, 80 meters upper sideband. The Illinois statewide areas net is held. That net is held on the first and third Sundays of each month, commencing at 4:30 p.m. One of the net control operators you hear in the area. Let's see. Oh yeah, Lloyd, KB9APW down in Sterling. He's one of the net control operators on that net. Just watching the weather report on channel 39. The warmest winter on record. We just got done with that. Previous warmest winter was 1931-32. So, okay. And the warmest February ever recorded. Okay. Continuing on with the nets there. Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. on the 147.375 repeater in Belvedere. PL of 100.0 plus offset. Big Thunder Amp radio couple holds its Sunday evening net. That net used to be on at 8 o'clock, but no more. It's now held at 7 o'clock. Greene County Aries Races net meets every Sunday evening at 7:30 p.m. on the 145.110 repeater in Monroe with the PL 123.0 minus offset. I believe Scott K9YI will be net control this Sunday. Last Sunday it was Brad and K9TNU. Okay, also at 8 p.m. on the 146.850 repeater in Sterling with a PL of 114.8 minus offset. The Whiteside County Aries group holds its Sunday evening net. Last week I tuned in that net the first time I heard all the way through. So, okay. Okay, Monday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repair, we got the Monday night rah-rah info net. I was a net control this past Monday, and Larry, K9KCT will be net control this coming Monday. Then the Lee County areas net meets on Monday evenings at 8 p.m. on 146.970 repair in Dixon with a PL 82.5 minus offset. The Kishwaukee Amateur Radio Club net meets on Mondays evenings at 8:30 p.m. on 146.730 repair in DeKalb with a PL 100.0 minus offset. Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repair, we got the Health Tech and Social Net with Larry, AC9GO as your net control operator. We answer anybody how they're doing health-wise, if anybody has a technical traffic area or traffic you'd like to bring into the net. Also at 7 p.m. on the 145.450 repair in Janesville, the PL 123.0 minus offset, the Rock County Aries Racing net is held. Tuesday evenings at 8:30 p.m. the Ogle County Hams net meets. That's on the 147.165 repair in Oregon with PL 146.2 plus offset. If they have time, they'll switch over to the 146.595 simplex for a brief simplex net. After they get done with that net, they'll switch back to the 147.165 repeater for the 9 o'clock Ogle County Aries Racing net for Aries Skywarn. Okay, now I want to tell you about a new net, which is going to be debuting this coming Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. on this repeater. It's the, oh boy, ain't that something? I can't think of the net. It's Larry, K9KCT, that's going to be in charge of that net. But they're going to be talking about new information and what have you. For the life of me, I can't think of that net. But it's going to be making its debut on this repeater at 7 p.m. this coming on Wednesday, March the 6th. Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to think offhand. Oh, yeah. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Also at 7 p.m. on the 147.390 repeater, we have the PL 114.8 plus offset. We have the Stevenson County areas in which I'm net control. And also at 7:30 p.m. the Greater Boyd Amateur Radio Club holds its Wednesday evening net on 147.120 repeater and Boyd with PL 123.0 plus offset. Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. on the 147.390 repeater in Freeport, PL 114.8 plus offset, we have the Wednesday evening swap net. Mel, N9RPN, and I share the duties of net control operator. I believe I had 9 check-ins this past Wednesday, and let's see, Mel will run the net this coming Monday night. If you listen to Amateur Radio Newsline, I don't know if you'll have any information about Bob Heil or not. Just give a listen and find out. Mel brings us Amateur Radio Newsline, 15 minutes independent news broadcast from the entire of the Amateur Radio. It's from Friday night and the previous week, so tonight's broadcast will re-air on Wednesdays on the 3-9 repeater during our Wednesday evening swap net. Then don't forget, Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. on this repeater, we got the Rockford Metro Skywarn training net. Last night, Justin, K9FEO, ran the net. He had 15 check-ins on this repeater. After we got done with that net, we switched over to a 146.430 simplex for a simplex net. I think we had about 12 people that check in. Justin ran that net fine, so it was a good turnout. So we're getting Skywarn back going again. So don't forget the Thursday evening Rockford Metro Skywarn training net on this repeater. Then after that, they'll go to 146.430 for a brief simplex net. Then also, the DeKalb County Aries Group holds its Thursday evening net also at 7 p.m. on the 146.730 repeater in DeKalb, PL 100.0 minus offset. Chad, W99HF has his simplex net every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. on the 146.415 simplex. I don't know how many check-ins he had last week. And on HF, you got the Senile net, which is held each and every day, Monday through Friday, 1,400 to 1,500 hours, Zulu, or 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. local, on 14.287 megahertz, 20 meters upper sideband, with Chuck WD9BB as your net control operator. 20-meter Ole Miss net meets on 14.290 megahertz, 20 meters upper sideband, unless you're told otherwise, go to another repeater. That meets, they take check-ins starting at 12 noon, and the net itself gets underway at 12:30. It runs for about 3 or 4 p.m. The nighttime Ole Miss net, the 40-meter Ole Miss net, meets on 7.185 megahertz, 40 meters upper sideband. And the Salvation Army Saturn net meets on 14.325 megahertz every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Local time. Okay, now you're all caught up to date on your local nets. Folks, let's start checking into these nets, especially these local nets around here. We would, I'm sure the local net control operators would love to have more check-ins check in their nets. Support your local net control operators, your local nets, your local repeaters, your member of any ham radio club. By all means, support your local club. Okay, at this time, any more stations you want to check in the Friday Night Fun net, please go now.
N9GBP, Greg in Rockford.
N9GBP, good evening, Greg. What's going on with you?
Oh, it's been a long week. Last Sunday night, our refrigerator gave out, and we called the repair guy, and he couldn't come till Tuesday, and he told us it was going to cost nearly as much to fix it as getting a new one. So we got a new one yesterday. We had to go, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 days without a refrigerator, and that was no fun.
That is a crock of you-know-what. That is a crock of you-know-what. Having to go without a refrigerator, that's ridiculous. You know what I do? I tell stick it up your you-know-what. We'll go to a store, we'll find a cheap one, we'll take our business someplace else. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. The neighbor let us put some stuff in theirs, and then we were using coolers for some of it. It was just ridiculous. Thankfully, the freezer out in the garage still worked, but boy, that was not fun.
Definitely no fun at either. I suppose you probably have to end up throwing some of your stuff out, huh?
Not a whole lot of it, but we did have to toss a bit of it.
That's for sure. Hey, the topic tonight, we're talking about the old electronics stores used to be in Rockford. B&B Electronics, J&M Electronics, Allied Radio, and what have you there. Where did you used to go back in the day?
Well, you know, most of those were before my time, and I really didn't get into this stuff till recently. About the only electronics store I ever really went to was the old Radio Shack.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure, yeah. That was my favorite place to go to, too. We used to have one here in Freeport, yeah. There's the Radio Shack. I don't know what happened there. N9GBP, this K9GCR. That was my favorite place to go to, Radio Shack. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a Radio Shack store up in Monroe.
I did not know that. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, they've been in business for a few years now. I don't know if they're independently owned and operated or what's going on. I thought I'd let you know that.
Well, that's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, I haven't been up there either. So okay. Last thing I bought from them was back in 2014 when I bought a USN Home Patrol 1 scanner.
Oh yeah, I think last thing I bought there was a spool of wire years ago before, well, obviously before they shut down.
Oh yeah, that's for sure, that's for sure. Okay, Greg, you have a good evening. Thanks for checking in the Friday Night Fun Net. Sorry to hear about your situation with your refrigerator, but I know things will work out okay. 7-3, have a good evening. We'll talk to you down the hall. Thanks for checking in.
All right, thanks, and 73.
WGM. If any more stations would like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time, please call now.
N4WGN.
N4WGN, good evening, Bob. What's a mile west of me, US 20, what's going on with you?
Well, I know the Radio Shack in Monroe has been open for quite some time. I don't know exactly when it opened, but it's a franchise, not a corporate store. So, and they have a little bit of everything, as much of nothing. If that makes any sense. I knew the girl that used to be the manager of it. She is the daughter of a couple of my old classmates. Me and Roger went up there, I don't know, late 2017, something like that. We go in there and she there's my Freeport guys, and come running up and give us both a big hug. So, haven't seen her since she left Freeport here, but yeah, it's still going. It's up there by by Walmart. So if anybody that knows where the Walmart store is in Monroe, it's on the far west side and everything, just take Highway 11, it goes up to it, and you see it and everything when you cross the bridge. You go, well, you don't go right to the on Highway 11, you go up over on the bridge to get down on the road. But yeah, it's right across the street. It's got Maurice's and some other things in there too. There, it's got a U.S. Cellular store. But yeah, some of my favorite places, I went to J-Tronics to get things, and definitely over to B&B. Bob and his wife Beverly was really good friends of mine. I used to take my daughter over with me, and she'd take her in there, and she had milk and cookies watching TV. Then one here in town, Jimmy, that wasn't too far from where you live at, the old Custom Electronics. They had people that would work on radios, and at the time, if you couldn't find it, Custom Electronics had it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Custom Electronics, just down the street from me. I wonder if they're even still in business anymore. I haven't been in there for a few years now.
No, the Custom Electronics went out many years ago, and it was called Radex. They sold stereos, installed stereos in the car. They put a garage door in the front of it now. But they're no longer in business either. Dexter finally, I guess, retired, and his son he runs the Guitar Center over in Rockford, so he don't have the opportunity to come over here and do the things that he used to do. But he had a recording studio there. We go there and record records, CDs, I guess. You want not records, but you go there and record. And they fixed some amps and stuff for guitars, but it was nothing like the Custom Electronics. I remember when they had their auction, man, you go in there and they had stuff that on the shelves that was obsolete that people didn't think you could ever get no more.
Okay, I didn't know that. Oh yeah, I think Dexter and Norman used to work there. Oh yeah, that was a nice store there. I bought quite a bit of stuff from there too.
Now I do got a question. You might know the answer to this, but didn't Gene Duncan work there at one time too? I kind of want to recall that one time he was talking about when he was at Custom Electronics. I may be wrong. I may be thinking of somebody else.
He may have. He might have. I'm not sure, but I think, you know what? I think you're right about that, but I can't say for sure.
I can't either. I remember, when he was talking there on that one repeater down there that you don't ever hardly hear no more. I don't remember the numbers of it. 805, not 805, but so I think I got it wrote down somewhere, although I used to use there. So I want to look one day and see if I can find it. But yeah, it's I kind of want to remember him talking about when he was talking to him that we was up in Freeport, and I kind of recall him saying stuff about Custom Electronics, and I don't remember how he put it, but yeah, that was a neat place to go as a kid. I tell you that already, as a youngster, when you're interested in that stuff, and they had kits you could buy up there too at one time where you could build your own radios, different type of radios, AM, FM, transistor radios, everything,
Oh yeah, I believe you. I think come to think of it, yeah, you probably did work there. So, sounds good. Yeah.
Well, we had to go to Madison yesterday, Jimmy. The wife's got the okay to go back to work next week. She goes back next Thursday. The doctor is very pleased. Don't have to see him no more. Unless something comes up that she needs to see him, but he says it's healing perfectly. He was in a pretty good mood. She really didn't care for him until yesterday. She said, he seemed to always thought he was rude. And I said, well, he was kind of worried about your hand, Some doctors do that, but she said he was pretty cool yesterday and everything. So we stopped at Hy-Vee and was going to get something for supper tonight, which we did. We ended up getting supper for last night up there. They had New York strip steak dinners up there. It was probably about a half-inch thick. You got cheesy hash browns with it, along with green beans and a roll for $10. We was going to go out to Route 20 and get a T-bone out there, but we got that instead. Really good, really good. We picked up for tonight. They had porterhouse burgers up there. Man, they were huge. Yeah, we had that for supper tonight. Just had it. Excellent food.
Oh, that's great. I got a Western burger. Ordered a Western burger the other day. They're from Royal Pub, or Pub Royal they call it now. I'll tell you what, that was definitely good. Put a lot of different barbecue sauce, at the onion rings or what have you there, and bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes and what have you. That was good.
Well, this burger probably wasn't better, but we had one of our kittens went home today to his new home. A good friend of mine wanted it, and we had about 5 people asking for the same kitten. She was the first one to ask about it anyway, but we took her over and dropped her off. She fell in love with her, but that's besides the point. Then we had to go to Wally World, and I knew we was missing something. That burger probably would have been better with a nice little slice of onion on top of it, but it was good anyway. definitely going to get some more of those.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Sounds good. Okay, Bob, I'm going to move on with the net here. But hey, thanks for checking in. Hey, we'll talk to you later tonight on the 3-9. So 7-3, talk to you later. Thanks for checking in.
All right, Jimmy. I hope you got your $1.5 million check-in. If not, you better get busy. KC9GCR N4WJN.
I have not heard from Justin tonight, so he must be got something else. Okay, Bob, talk to you later. This is KC9GCR with the Friday Night Fun Net on the K9 RFD Repeater in Rockford, transmitting from Friday Night Fun Net Central Area in Freeport. It is now 10 p.m. curfew time. Parents, you know where your children are at. Lockdown. Winnebago County Jail is going on lockdown this very moment. K9 MAP Kerry was telling me he used to listen to the county jail frequencies there, and every night at 10 o'clock, dispatch radios to corrections officers. Lockdown, lights out, time for the jailbirds to go nighty-night. Nighty-night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Do we have any more stations? I'd like to check in the Friday Night Fun Net this time. Please call now. I'll tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Last report, I think we had 168 people sign up for that. Brad AHQI or Ricky WX9RLT is are in charge of that. You see updated pictures of my ham shack, pertinent information about the net. You'll even see weather information. So, by the way, this net is being live streamed around the world on the internet, on the YouTube, thanks to Mike KC9MED. He's also live recording this net for future replay on the Friday Night Fun Net Central Facebook page. Punch in your call sign and go to Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page, punch in your call sign, follow instructions, and you're in business. You listen to this net as soon as it's posted tonight. And you listen to past editions of the net, you'll hear last week's net, we were talking about the different telephones or what have you, and the previous nets. Listen to the Friday Night Fun Net all day, every day, or all night, every night. It's Friday night, every night of the week with the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page. Let's say it's 3 o'clock, you can't sleep. Well, you decide, I'm going to turn on the Friday Night Fun Net Facebook page and listen to the Friday Night Fun Net. If that doesn't put you to sleep, I don't know what will. Next, I want to tell you about the Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636. No hotline checking tonight, folks. But if I'm transmitting, when you hear that phone ring, that's a real telephone ring, folks, not that phony cell phone ring. It's a traditional red desktop touch-tone telephone. You see pictures of it on the Facebook page. Okay, Friday Night Fun Net Central Hotline, area code 815-232-FN, 232-3636, local Freeport number. So, okay. Any more stations you want to check in, please call now. KC9YI, Scott, I can just barely hear you. Is there any way you can go to your amplifier and then maybe try the 195 simplex? Okay, Scott, I already got you checked in. We're talking about the old electronic stores back in the day, like Radio Shack, or like in Rockford, B&B Electronics, J&M Electronics, or what have you. Where did you used to go for your back in your younger days for electronics and stuff?
Oh boy. Yeah, I suppose Radio Shack, there were Radio Shack stores at that time up in Madison. There was a place called Satterfield Electronics up in the Madison area. I don't think I ever stopped there. And then also for the what's going for long, as long as I've been in radio, AES. So you have to go long to get some of them. KC9CCR, this is KC9YI.
Okay, sounds good, Scott. Thanks for checking in and bringing us that information. You have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you Sunday night on the Green County Aries Net.
Sounds good, Jim. Take care. W3, this is KC9YI clear.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks for checking in, Scott. Do we have any more stations I'd like to check at the Friday Night Fun at this time? Please call now. Okay, I want to thank Dan, N9DCH, and the members of the 195 group for allowing us to use this repair the host of Friday Night Fun Net. I'm going to run down the list of stations we're checking so far. Myself, K9GCR, net control. W9 JTC, Jamie, you checked in as early bird check-in. Okay. W9KLG, H9JZ, KB9SSV, AC9NW, N9DLB, Dave here in Freeport, a mile east of me, lives north of beautiful downtown Freeport. 89VU, Mike in Janesville, K9QP on Fallen West Park. N9OEG, Chris, South Boyd, K9YBG, K9MAP, K89YFG, K9MED was recording this net on the Facebook page and live streaming around the world on YouTube on the internet. KF9SBD, Pat and Warren, one internet check-in, one and only internet check-in tonight. K9RGG, Norman Orphanville. K9ZIP, Joe and Janesville, K9GDY. Jim and Boyd, letting us know about the successful 60th anniversary of Gary Boyd Amateur Radio Club and W9B special event station with over 14,000 contacts. That's great. K9EPG, Alan Rochelle, K9FLO, Dean and Roscoe, and K9N, Dean also in Roscoe, K9CFL, Mike, N9BWM, Bruce, N9GBP, Greg, N4WGN, and last but certainly not least, K9YI, Scott Monroe. All right, let's see. Total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 on-air check-ins, one early bird check-in, and one internet check-in, so leaves a grand total of 26 check-ins so far. Do we have any more stations you want to check in? Please call now. Okay, at this time, I'm going to do my honorary check-ins. I'm going to N9ARB, Tony, REC here in Stevenson County, HC honorary check-in. I'll see him at our bi-monthly meeting of the State Line Amateur Radio Club tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. at the Freeport Public Library. Tracy, N9TAB. HC honorary check-in, let's see. We mustn't forget the beautiful Kishwaukee River Yacht Club, Southern Rockford. AA9, Silver Fox, HC honorary check-in. And you know what? Since I didn't hear from him, I'm going to go ahead and put him down as an honorary check-in. Justin. K9FEO. HC honorary check-in. Of course, you can check in before that's over. I can always change that too. One of the best guys in the whole world. He doesn't listen. He doesn't check in that much, but he listens every Friday night. Richard N9ZO. HC honorary check-in. K9 GCR to Friday Night Funded and K9 RFD Repair and Rockford transmitting from Friday Night Funded Center in Freeport. Do we have any more stations who want to check in? Please call now. Okay, continue with the honorary check-ins. I'm going to put down KG9ZIY. HC honorary check-in. That's Seth and Duran. KD9ZTZ. Corey and Rockford. HC honorary check-in. AC9GO. HC honorary check-in. K9JPP. Joe. HC honorary check-in. WX9RLT. Ricky. HC honorary check-in. Now my Stevenson County check-in. George N9WSQ. We just got home today from Gulf Shores, Alabama. N9WSQ. HC honorary check-in. KD9LOA. Brandon. HC honorary check-in. KD9OVJ. John and McConnell. HC honorary check-in. And last but certainly not least, KC9ICH. Robert. HC honorary check-in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 honorary check-ins so far. Okay. Any more stations who want to check in the Friday Night Fun Net? Please call now. Okay. It was a great net tonight, folks. Thanks for sharing members of the B&B Electronics, Allied Radio Store, and what have you. So the old Radio Shack stores. Yes, there's still one in Monroe, Wisconsin. I'm happy to report. So okay. Be sure you tell your mothers, your fathers, your sons and daughters, your brothers and sisters, your aunts and uncles, your nieces, your nephews, your grandparents, your in-laws, your neighbors across the street, down the street, next door. Be sure you tell your butcher, your baker, your candlestick maker. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the checkout counter of your grocery store. Be sure to tell the clerk behind the counter of your convenience store. Be sure you tell your waiters, your waitresses, or your bartenders in your friendly neighborhood bars, restaurants, taverns, or pubs. Be sure you tell the clerk behind the counter at your local post office when you buy your stamps or envelopes. Be sure you tell your bank cashier when you go write a check or withdraw money from your local bank. Be sure you tell your used car dealer, your new car dealer, your garage mechanic. Be sure you tell the members of your local PTA or PTO. Be sure you tell your priests, your ministers, your rabbis, your mullahs, your ayatollahs, or your imams. Be sure you tell your probation officer, your parole officer, your divorce lawyer. Be sure you tell members of local PTA or PTO, be sure you tell your probation officer, your parole officer, your divorce lawyer. Be sure you tell your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your ex-boyfriends, your ex-girlfriends, your husbands, your wives, your ex-husbands, your ex-wives, your ex-in-laws, and of course your old ladies about the Friday Night Fun Net. Aboard check-ins and bear the net. Make sure you have valid FCC license before you check in. I'm sorry, folks, we do not take check-ins from jailbirds, jammers, potty mouths, crackheads, dopeheads, potheads, telemarketers. If you sit in the clubhouse, take a knee, or clench your fist when the national anthem is being played, we don't take your check-ins. If you don't back the blue, we don't take your check-ins. That's all there is to it. Okay. There being no further business, this is the last call for any station you want to check the Friday Night Fun Net from anywhere in the region with or without tapping. Please call Case 9 GCR. Last call for Ratchet Jaw. Okay, tune in again next week, same time, same repeat for another edition of Friday Night Fun Net. This concludes the Friday Night Fun Net for Friday, March 1st, 2024. Tune in again next week, same time, same repeat for another edition of Friday Night Fun Net. Until then, this is Jim, Keystone GCR. Now closing down this Friday, March 1st, 2024 edition of Friday Night Fun Net. First Friday Night Fun Net for the new month of March. They return the repairs and bring with you normal amateur radio use. At 10:17 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 hours 17 minutes Zulu time with an unofficial count of 40 check-ins. This net is now closed. Repairs now over normal amateur radio use. 7-3, everybody. Have a good weekend. We'll talk to you down the log. This is K-Sign GCR. Wishing you all a very pleasant good night. 7-3. K9MED, K9MED, K-Sign GCR.
89 MED.
Go ahead and post it, Mike. At 2 hours, 17 minutes net with an unofficial count of 40 check-ins.
All right, Jimmy, it'll be posted as soon as we shut down the live stream. This will be KD9 MED, clear on your final.
7-3, Mike, thanks for all you do. Thanks for the internet checking. K-Sign GCR will be clear. Good night. Talk to you next Friday night.